Greetings, technicians. This is Admin Crow here, your coach of the Toronto Staraptors, bringing you the battle for Season 2, Week 2 of the PCL, the Pokemon Champions League, against the Houston Hustles, coached by Clutchsometimes, aka Clutch. So in this video, I'm gonna be going over my turn-to-turn thought process, or just going over the battle itself to see how we did based on the team that we brought against his roster. So let's just get started, shall we? So at the team preview right here, at first I recognized that there's no Houndoom and there's no Whimsicott, so two of the biggest threats against my team are not there. So I was really happy about that, and also there's no Lando T. But then that also means the EV spreads I have on Hydreigon and Teeny is not going to be as useful. Also, of course, my ice coverage on my other three mons, meaning being a Slowking, Gliscor and Lopunny, it's not going to be as useful as well. So I guess really good prep on Clutch side, just to expect me to prep for the Lando and not bringing one of the bigger threats against me. So nevertheless, I was really happy about not seeing those threats. However, he does have both a Suicune and Mew, so my idea is to catch one of those, at least one, because I don't know which one is the Calm Mind variant. So I have to play my Victini very conservatively, try to catch one of those off guard with a final Gambit. So that was my game plan going in. I do see the Monkey, the Pissimian. In both of my mocks against Checkmate, he brought Scarf Pissimian. So looking at his team, the Pissimian might potentially be Scarf. Either that, or maybe if he has a Scarf, or maybe the Nihilego. So those two are on my radar. So let's just hop into the battle, shall we? So first turn here, I have decided to lead with my Victini to see if he will lead with Mew or Druddigon. And if it's Druddigon, I'll have to hard switch out. I don't want to take any trip. But he didn't lead with any of these. If he was a Mew, I would have just gone for the final Gambit right away. He actually gone for the Shark, so it didn't make a lot of sense to me. Just because, first of all, it doesn't get any hazards. And it doesn't do anything to the Fortress, at least that's what I thought at that point, right? Because Fortress is most likely going to be my lead looking at my roster if my opponent didn't know which set I'm bringing. So right here I'm just going to go for the U-turn, as I did EV my Victini to outspeed the Shark even at +1, so U-turn was no drop back play. He does go into the Druddigon right here, as we can see that he was rough skin. And I took a little bit trip as I pivot out into my Hydreigon. So because he didn't bring me the Whimsicott, so I'm just gonna go for a Choice Spec Draco. So I was like, show me your sack at this point, right? Because he has no Draco resist or immunity. So surprisingly, he withdrew his Druddigon and going to his Pissimian. So I was like, yeah, good sack. But then, what the actual fuck? This thing lived on 17. And I was like, what? No berries or anything? So I immediately know that this thing is a Assault Vest, because I am Choice Scarf. Choice Spec. Of course, Clutch will know that I'm Choice Spec as well at this point, so it's a fair trade. So there's no way that I'll stay in against this. He can just do a lot of damage either with CC or U-turn. So I go into my Aegis to get off that Rocky Helmet damage and pick up the KO as the Pissimian go for the U-turn. So over here, he actually going to use Shark, lure the Sharpedo. So I was like, wait, I'm in with my designated switch into the Shark, so I'm just gonna stay in. And I debated whether if I should go for the Gyro Ball just to get off damage on the Shark, or go for hazards. So I think hindsight, I probably should have just gone for the Gyro Ball, because I was afraid that he might go for Protect turn 1 just to scout. I think his better play is always go for the Protect turn 1, because I might go for the hazard. I might go for the hazard as he goes for Protect. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Anyways, we do find out that he's Hydro Pump, aka Special Shark, and did a tremendous amount to my Fortress, just because I'm physically defensive and doesn't have too much special bulk. So I do manage to live on 3. It didn't matter, I don't think. But I do go for the hazard right here instead of going for a Gyro Ball. Had I go for the Gyro Ball, we would have done a tremendous amount to the Shark. despite the fact of it being resisted. So I feel comfortable going to my Slow King right here, knowing that I won't get 3-hit KO'd, or it's very unlikely that I'll get 3-hit KO'd. Just because, or I mean 2-hit KO, sorry. Just because he doesn't have the Handum anymore. This thing's mainly here to take on the Handum, and I don't need too much health on this thing to take on the Heligo anyways. So I do pivot out into my Slow King to take the Dark Pulse. So over here, I actually go for the Dragon Tail just to get off trip and in case he wants to switch. But, as you guys can see, I missed. Okay, that damage is actually pretty crucial on the Shark. It probably would have done 20 to 30% if the Shark stayed in. And it would have been able to shuffle around his team quite a bit if he so decide to switch, as he doesn't have a Dragon immunity. So over here, I was like, oh shit, what am I supposed to do now? So I'm forced to sack my Fortress right here as he goes for another Dark Pulse just to get off a little bit more life or recoil on the Shark, and get the Regenerator back on my Slow King. So as I sack my Fortress, I go into my Low Pony here, half expecting the Shark to switch out, expecting him to expect me to go for the Fake Out. So I actually went for the Power Up Punch to get off a potential, I guess, boost on whatever comes in. But he shows me right here he is packing the Protect, probably for the Fake Out itself. But right here, I think he switched. Yes, he did, just into his defensive Mew. So this is actually something I played against in my mock as well. However, he has Rocky Helmet over the Leftovers, which is different from my mock. Hindsight, I think this is actually a very crucial turn on my part. I think I played the game perfectly except for this 50-50 right here. So my Low Pony stat, right? My Low Pony is packing the packing the Facade, so I can actually stay in and take whatever move he wants to go for, especially the Will-O-Wisp, and be able to take advantage of that and go for a boosted Facade later. However, I do go into my, knowing that there's no way he goes for a Psychic move over there, because I do have Hydreigon, a Psychic immunity on my team, right? However, I was actually afraid of the Dazzling Gleam because that hits the Low Pony and the Hydreigon. So I actually made a Hydreigon play, just a safer play overall, in case he wants to get off a Defog or go for Will-O-Wisp or a Psychic. The chance of him having Dazzle is pretty slim compared to the other three. So he does go for a Will-O-Wisp right here as I expected. So I do take that, and this burn damage actually comes into play later too. That's why I said the turn over there is pretty crucial. He does go into his Nihilego to take the Dark Pulse. There's no reason for me to go for the Draco, because Dark Pulse 2-hit KOs most of his team anyways. His Dark Resist is Staraptor. There's no way that that thing's gonna take 2 Dark Pulse. He might not even take 1 actually, because I am spec. So over here is actually a roll to kill the Nihilego. So I'm just gonna go into my designated Nihilego switching, which is a Slow King. He's still sitting at a relatively healthy amount of health. As I see the hidden power coming out, I'm like, I don't know what that is, but it's probably the ice for the Gliscor. Now think back, but that did absolutely nothing. So I am just gonna stay in with my Scarlet Mist right here and go for the Scald, as he doesn't really have a Scald switching. Over there, I think he could have gone to his Suicune, because I would like to burn that. I mean, Toxic that thing over the over the burn. However, I was thinking to myself, he might go into. I don't want him to get a free switch into the Shark, because if I go for the Side Shock, he might predict that and go into the Shark and be able to save his Nihilego, right? So I did go for the safer play, which is Scald. He does go into his Shark once again. I have no switch into this, and I'm just gonna stay in with my Scarlet Mist as he goes for a Dark Pulse, because I did the calc. I think I live 1 if he need an absolute max roll with Timid. I think I'm outside of range for Timid actually, if he's Timid Life Orb. And based on the damage previously against my Slow King with the Dark Pulse, I believe it was 35. He got 35% twice, and he got 35% and 36%, right? So I don't know what his exact EV spread is, but based off that damage, I think I can live 1 and be able to get off some damage on this Shark, just because he is taking all that residual damage from the Life Orb. However though, Scarlet Mist, you should go back. I love you, my bro, but I think you should go back to the gym and retrain yourself. As you can see, I literally said no flinch on the dark pose, but unfortunately he flinched me. So this is actually pretty crucial. So I basically missed out on 2 hits on this shark. It would have been dead by now had it took the both the Dragon Tail and whatever. I think I gone for Scald right here. Because I calculated it was it's gonna do roughly 30% to the shark anyway, so he might even die to recoil had I land the Scald and not get flinch right here. The Dragon Tail miss was big, but it wasn't enough to cost me the game, so I was pretty much put on the back foot. Because of this, I don't have a switch in, so I was actually forced to sack my Slowking right here, which is actually very big for me because I am packing the Dragon Tail, as you guys saw before, for the CM Suicune or CM Mew. So over here, I'm just gonna go into my Hydreigon, knowing that I can live a Ice Beam from this range, and he doesn't really have a switch into Dark Pulse anyway, so I just go for a safe Dark Pulse. I do take the Ice Beam and the burn damage, and be able to knock out this shark with a spec boosted Dark Pulse. So had I land the Dragon Tail plus not getting flinched by the Dark Pulse, or at least land the Scald, just not getting flinched the second time, I would have been able to knock out this shark without having to take, I don't know how much that was, but 71% on my Hydreigon. Actually 71 plus 6% because he protected to get a turn of burn damage off on me, so that would be, I guess, 77%. So had I not get flinched or land the Dragon Tail, I'll be able to save all that health on my Hydreigon, right? So, but it's okay, I'm still in this game. It is 4-3 right now, so, and I still have 1 hit left in Hydreigon. So I do switch out into my Wind Tail here, expecting the Suicune to come in. So I do like to get off a Toxic on this as soon as possible. We can see here he is a CM set, so I don't have the Dragon Tail from Slowking to check this anymore. So my play over here is basically, because I don't want to risk the switch into Victini right now, if he goes for Scald at any point. So my play here, my best play here is actually stay in to get off as much possible damage off on this thing as possible with my Gliscor. It's gonna be quite long here, quite a couple turns here. That's what I was trying to achieve with my Gliscor, and at the same time get a free switch into my Victini, so I can go for that final Gambit and knock this thing out. That was pretty much my only way of killing this thing, or a Draco from the Hydreigon. But I would like to save my Hydreigon for both the Judagon and the Mew, because both of these two gets O-Code. So that was my game plan right here. So as you can see here, he just keeps on going for CM, do what Crocune does the best, and try to go for Rest Talk and potentially get Scald or Ice Beam. As I just keep on going for Toxic and EQ repetitively. At one point, I think I stopped going for Toxic because I think he just go for Rest right away after he wakes up anyway, and rely on solely on the Sleep Talk. So I think I just started spamming EQ at this point. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. So this is gonna be quite a few turns here. Oh, there we go. So he wakes up and go for the Scald finally and knock out my Gliscor. In one hit, he is at plus, I don't know what that is, plus 6. That's probably plus 6. It took forever. So over here, I'm not messing around with this threat. I'm just gonna go straight up for the final Gambit because I know the Suicune is in range. He's sitting at 62%. Because I did EV my Victini to have max HP, so I actually share the same amount of HP as a max HP Suicune. So I think another play over here was another mistake. I wouldn't say a mistake, but it's another 50-50 right here. Basically, I got a little bit nervous, or I guess impatient with the Victini because I couldn't really mess around. I guess I can't really mess around with the Suicune because he already got plus 6. so he can just straight up sweep my team at this point. So I'm just gonna go for the final gambit right here, even though that I know the Juligan might very well come in, but it's not a risk that I can take. So it's like I can't afford to let him 3-0 me, right? So that was my idea right there. So I am gonna go into my Hydreigon right here, because it pretty much gets a kill against either Mew or the Suicune, whereas Lopunny can't really beat both. It might be able to beat the Mew depending on its set, because I am packing the Facade. I actually killed a defensive Mew with my Lopunny set during one of the mocks. So I do only have one hit left in my Hydreigon due to the burn. So I am just gonna go for the Draco here. I know that it's gonna kill for sure, but I am just gonna die to the burn damage here on the same turn. So it's double down twice in a row, right? So it's down to the wire. Let's see which one of us can clutch out. But he does have the type advantage right here. So right now he's sitting at 68%, right? So had I gotten the burn on my Lopunny previously, I can't believe I'm saying that, but I wish I got the burn, because it's actually a guaranteed KO with the Facade from this range, if I gotten the burn on my Lopunny. But so my thought process here is pretty much going for a power-up punch, expecting him, because there's nothing that I can do to knock out this Mew from this range anyway, expecting him to go for a Will-O-Wisp and hope that he doesn't have the psychic coverage for me. Expecting him to go for the Will-O-Wisp and get a burn, I guess, on my Lopunny, just to ensure the win that way, right? So, but as you guys, and just try to knock him out the following turn with the Facade. But as you guys can see here, no, I just died to a Psychic as he just go for the offensive instead of relying on Will-O-Wisp. It turns out he was really speedy Mew as well. He wasn't as bulky as I thought he was. It kind of gave me a false impression after I saw that Rocky Helmet. I thought it's going to be fully defensive. But that's going to be it from me for this week. It's a really good battle, and I spent a lot of time prepping for it. Definitely GG to my friend Clutch, part of the content creator team. And he does clutch out the win this time, and we're going to be picking up our first L in the PCL. So I did better than I thought, but I really think I had a really good chance of winning after not seeing the Houndoom and Whimsicott and Lando T, which I think are three of the biggest threats against my team at the team preview. But luck is not on my side today. However, that's the game we play. GG again to Clutch. So I think that's going to be it from me this week. Very good battle overall. I was pretty satisfied with the outcome of this battle, since it's only a 1-0 instead of 3-0 in the end there. I think I played to the best of my abilities for sure. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Admin Crow here, signing off. Goodbye, technicians.